A few months ago, when I slacked my food and ag team for recommendations for this year's Tech Talks, I think it was all of like 30 seconds before Emily Bass slacked me Eion, the talk that we're going to hear right now. So I've been excited for this presentation since really the beginning of organizing this event. Please give Alison a warm round of applause.
Hi, everybody. Is this working? Yes. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really excited to be here. It's been a really fun few days so far of meeting new people and learning new things. I'm really excited to talk to you about the company where I work. It's called Eion. We are a carbon dioxide removal company, and our specific flavor is enhanced rock weathering. So we take rocks, we grind them up, we put them on farms, they store carbon, and it's permanent, measurable, and can scale. Before we get into more, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Alison Marklein. I'm a senior scientist here, and I've been with the company for about 2 years. And my Ph.D. is in ecosystem biogeochemistry. That's biology, geology, and chemistry. And what that means is that I think a lot about how soils, plants, microbes, rocks interact with each other and the rest of their environment. We've already talked a little bit about carbon dioxide removal in this event. I've heard mention of DAC, direct air capture, carbon capture and storage. There's also a lot of organic carbon storage that's available. And now we're going to hear about enhanced rock weathering. And I'm really excited about enhanced rock weathering because on this checklist, it literally checks all of the boxes. It's verifiable. We can measure it. It's permanent on the order of hundreds of thousands of years, and we can scale to actually make a significant dent in climate change. So enhanced rock mineralization isn't a new thing. It's basically just speeding up a natural process called mineralization. The way this works is you have silicate rocks. They dissolve as they weather, and that stores carbon dioxide. But this can be really, really slow. It takes thousands of years to weather these rocks, and it naturally removes about 0.1 gigatons of carbon every year. With rock weathering, we're just speeding it up. We're picking the right rocks, we're grinding them so that that increases their surface area and they weather more quickly, and then we spread them on land. And depending on how much we grind them, they can weather in 1 to 4 years. And other researchers not affiliated with my company have estimated that rock weathering in total can remove about 2 gigatons of carbon every year. That's about a third of what the IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, says that we need to be doing. So we at Eion use a specific rock called olivine. This rock is great for enhanced weathering for a few different reasons. It has the right chemical and physical properties to weather quickly and store lots of carbon. It's naturally abundant at the surface of the earth, and it is agronomically beneficial for farmers. So we get our olivine from a quarry in Norway. That's the left picture here in the circles. And we work with our partner, Sibelco, who've owned and operated this hydroelectric powered facility for 150 years. They've been environmental stewards, and as I mentioned earlier, the rock is at the surface of the earth. This means that it's not deep mining. It's a lot more carbon, it's less carbon intensive and more safe than deep mining. Then we transport it from Norway to the Mississippi Delta by ship, like in the top picture. Then we work with agricultural distribution partners to get it from the Mississippi Delta up to farms in the Midwest and Mid-South United States. It seems pretty silly to be shipping rocks all the way from Norway to the United States. This is, it actually is about 10% of the carbon dioxide removal potential is used in grinding and transport, so it's not actually that inefficient to be shipping. We then take the pulverized rock, which is shown in the picture on the right, and work with our agricultural distribution partners to get it to farms. Farmers typically apply lime to improve the acidity of their soil to make it less acidic, and this is a drop-in replacement for lime. So farmers can use olivine instead of lime to manage their pH, and our farming collaborators and their independent advisors determine how much rock they need to fix their soil pH. All of this just uses established infrastructure. No specialized equipment is required. So the way this all works is we're going to get into a little bit of chemistry. There's magnesium present in the rock. That changes the chemistry of the soil water. It increases the alkalinity or saltiness, and that causes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere to dissolve in the soil water. That carbon dioxide changes form into carbonate and bicarbonate, which are negatively charged, and those anions pair with the magnesium, which is positively charged. So you have a negative and a positive, and they match up. Those leach out of the ecosystem into the water and ultimately end up in the ocean, where they're stable for hundreds of thousands of years. This doesn't have negative impacts on the ecosystems. In fact, it can help with acidification that's caused by other agricultural inputs like fertilizer. So I did mention it's measurable, and you might be wondering, how do we do that if the magnesium and the carbon leach out of the ecosystem into the ocean? We use what we call immobile trace elements as kind of a fingerprint of what's left behind. These immobile trace elements are chemically sticky, and they remain in the soil at the top while the magnesium and the carbon leach out. So we can look at ratios of magnesium to these immobile trace elements in the soil with a soil sample before the rock has been applied and a soil sample after the rock has weathered some amount of time, and infer how much magnesium has been lost. Most of the magnesium is paired with carbon, about 93% of it. Some of the magnesium is taken up by plants or leaches with other elements, and we have a couple processes in our field trials that we use to actually measure that as well. We've conducted 17 field trials in the starred location on the map, mostly up the Mississippi, which is where we ship the rock from, and we've looked at corn, soy, cotton, peach, and sugarcane, and we've shown that this process works. We're storing carbon, and that's the most exciting thing. We can also measure the carbon that's been removed, and we've shown it's safe and even beneficial for farmers. We have a lot more field trials planned in 2024 and beyond, and this is a place that we really welcome collaboration and are excited to work with other partners to support our company as well as rock weathering science as a whole. So it's one thing to hear it from me. I work for this company. I'm really excited about it. I've drank the Kool-Aid. But we have some farming partners who I want you to hear it from as well. So I'm going to play a short video for you of our agricultural partners. And they mentioned carbon lock, which is the fancy word that we call olivine.
When you move outside of the bigger cities into the communities that where most of the farming landscape occurs, those communities they're dependent on the agriculture, from the parts stores to the bakeries to the gas stations. I mean, everything revolves around and lives and dies by our traditional row crop agriculture.
The communities in our agricultural production areas, they're drying up, is what it boils down to. And what's really intriguing about the opportunity that we have ahead of us with Carbon Lock is re-engaging and rebuilding workforces in these communities. And that is everything from truck drivers delivering the material, to people pulling soil samples in the farmers' fields, to the applicators that are applying the product to the farm. So there's a lot of benefits outside of what we gain for the soil and the environment with it.
Eion is the first company that's brought a product to us, a service to us that scientifically we believe can go in, permanently remove carbon, do it with ease, and do it with little to no disruption whatsoever to the grower base.
So I would just like to reiterate, enhanced rock weathering has the potential to remove up to 2 gigatons of carbon dioxide per year. It benefits growers on the ground. We can measure it, it's permanent, and it's scalable. The more we can do to help in the field test this, we can build trust, we can scale it up faster, and that's what we really need to do to help the planet. I would love to chat with you more after. Please find me during lunch, and my email is up here. So thank you so much for your attention.